You may be aware that there is a passionate craft beer community in Western New England, but what you might not know is how intermingled that group is with the cycling community. So when local craft beer brewer Chris Sellers was thinking of an idea for a fundraiser, he combined a love for cycling and brewing beer and created a 100-mile bike ride to benefit the food bank of Western Mass. But you'll probably be surprised to find out that he did it without ever leaving his brewery in Northfield. Producer Dave Fraser brings us the story.
There's nowhere else you can get this close to your ingredients. So professionally as a brewer, to be able to have a grain that was grown on one end of the hop yard, and then to have the hops, and then to have the brewery all within maybe 150 yards, technically it's just a fascinating thing to do. You know, for every one brewer, there's probably 25 people that would like to be brewers. And I pushed as hard as I could. And I did sales, deliveries, keg washing, bottling, labeling, floors. You know, you name it, I did it for about 3 years. Grab a few more bags. There's a real strong feeling that people want to consume things that are produced here, in this area in particular, whether it's the Pioneer Valley or the whole of Western Mass. So I think when you're talking about something that, like beer, that's so creative and so different and so unique, they're really looking for that, you know, as close to home as possible. The farm's 30 years old. It encompasses just over 200 acres here right off Route 63 in Northfield. In 2017, my wife and I were looking for a venue to get married, and we had talked to a number of places in the area. Everyone was booked up. Some of the folks here said, you know, why don't you get married here? It seemed like a neat idea, and at the time we were planning on early August, so the hops are all the way up. It's a really lush green background. We have these like incredibly dramatic clouds in the background. This is really big sky here. As we started, you know, got a little closer to the family that owns the farm here, started talking, you know, yeah, a brewery's an interesting idea. Let's work on this a little bit more. I think it was Friday, December 18th, we opened our doors for the first time. What we're brewing today, the Northfield lager, takes about 3 weeks to go through its primary fermentation. It's a very cold fermentation and therefore a very subtle sort of flavor profile. And then it gets cold conditioned for a month or more after that. With COVID being what it was, I started staying in shape for cycling by just doing stationary trainer work. And this became a very popular thing as COVID went on globally. I'm sitting there doing this one night and I said to myself, you know, what if you did 100 miles on this? What if I did it to actually help some people? Let's set it up in the brewery. Let's see what happens. And I set a fundraising goal on a GoFundMe for $1,000. I thought, it's a weird time. I don't know if anybody's gonna give anything, you know, let's just see what happens. And by the time we were done, we're up around $2,500. People just gave. You know, when I hear that $1 donated creates 4 healthy meals for, you know, people, you think, well, $2,500, although not a ton of money in the broad scheme of things, is 10,000 meals. Yeah, we made a tangible difference in the world, and all I had to do was sweat for 5 hours in a brewery. I'm okay with that. To be able to connect the products that are being grown on the farm with the finished beer itself, and then be able to continue that connection to the community is just like one full circle in a very small area. And that to me is really exciting.